This is Pokling 888 Telemetrading Daily Market Research and Data Analysis. Here are the top 10 most active companies in the Philippine Stock Exchange in terms of volume. Solar Philippines Nueva Ecija traded 349.10 million at a price of 1.51 per share, followed by the all-day marts with 70.75 million at a price of 0.63. Next, the frutas with 34.62 million at a price of 1 peso and 20 cents per share, followed by the global ferronickel with 25.18 million at a price of 2 pesos and 17 cents per share. Next, the Monday Nissin with 15.87 million at a price of 17 pesos and 18 cents per share. Next, the Dito CME Holdings with 26.82 million at a price of 5.67. Next, the AC Energy Philippines with 21.19 million at a price of 9.5. Also, the Metro Pacific Investment with 13.52 million at a price of 3 pesos and 94 cents. Followed by the Mega World with 8.88 million at a price of 3.2. And the DMCI with 4.89 million at a price of 8.31 per share. And here are the notable gainers. Led by Oriental Petrol B with 10%. Next, the MREIT with gains of 7.65%. Next, the Solar Philippines, Nueva Ecija with 6.34%. Also, the Dizon Copper Silver with gains of 5.78%. Next, the Araneta Properties gained 5.21%. Also, the Certec with 4.88%, followed by the Rojas with 4.81%. Next, the National Reinsurance Corporation with gains of 4.55%. Next, the Benguet B with 4.33%, and the Niho Mineral with 4%. And the notable decliners are the following. Alson's Consolidated declined 10.09%, followed by the A-Site Hotel with 7.36%. Also, the Dito CME Holdings with losses of 5.18%. Also, the Lepanto Consolidated B with 5%. The Italpinas Development with 5%. Also, losses from Philippine Resorts with 4.94%. Also, the Benguet A with 4.91% losses. Next, the Holcim Philippines lost 4.83%. Next, the Easy Call Communications with 4.76%. And the Artholand with 4.69% losses, among others. And this is the latest on Forex. For US dollar, the dollar index slipped further below 94.9 on Friday, while the offshore yuan appreciated past 6.36 per US dollar. Then the Canadian dollar traded below 1.25. The Australian dollar held above 0.727 US dollar, while the Japanese yen appreciated past 114 per US dollar. Then the New Zealand dollar held above 0.685 US dollar, and the British pound held above 1.37 US dollars in mid-January. And here are the updates on commodities. For gold price, the gold traded firmly above 1,820 US dollars an ounce on Friday. while the crude futures traded up above 82 US dollars per barrel on Friday, heading for a fourth consecutive week of gains. While the Brent crude futures edged up to around 84.8 US dollars per barrel on Friday and are on course for a fourth consecutive week of gains. And the US natural gas futures plunged more than 12% to below 4.3 US dollars per million British thermal units. And here are the stock market updates. In US, the US stock futures were steady on Friday after a tech-driven sell-off in the previous session, as investors continued to grapple with prospects of higher interest rates. Dow and S&P 500 futures were little changed, while Nasdaq 100 futures were also flat. The three major averages sold off in regular trading on Thursday, with the Dow and S&P 500 falling 0.49% and 1.42% respectively, while the Nasdaq was the relative underperformer after plunging 2.51%. The high growth technology, consumer cyclical, and communication services sectors led the declines as investors rotated into value and pro cyclical stocks. Delta Airlines gained 2.12% after an earnings beat, lifting other airline stocks. Several major banks are also set to report results on Friday. In New Zealand, the S&P or NZX 50 fell 37 points to finish at 12,790 on Friday, closing the week 1.4% lower. In Australia, the S&P or ASX 200 index fell 1.04% to close at 7,397 on Friday, weighed down by technology stocks following an overnight rout in the Nasdaq, with resource-related and reopening stocks dragging the market further on fresh COVID concerns. Notable losses were seen from Afterpay with 9.16%, Zero with 5.05%, Woolworths with 2.86%, West Farmers with 2.05%, Linus Rare Earth with 1.33%, Whitehaven Coal with 5.08% losses, and Santos Ltd with 1.41% losses, among others. The benchmark stock index napped three straight weekly gains to end the week 0.8% lower. In China, the Shanghai Composite fell 0.96% to close at 3,521, while the Shenzhen Component rose 0.09% to 14,151 on Friday as China posted a record trade surplus in December 2021. While in France, the CAC 40 index dropped 0.7% to hover around 7,150 on Friday, dragged by utility stocks and renewed worries of accelerated tightening of monetary policy. On the corporate front, EDF shares plunged 22.3% after the French government told the state-backed utility it had to limit price increases and sell its nuclear power in cheap amounts to small competitors to cap electricity prices for French households. Meanwhile, luxury goods also traded in the red, dragged by Kering with 2.3% and Hermes with 1.7%. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 index fell 1.28% to close at 28,124, while the broader topics index lost 1.39% to 1,978 on Friday, with Japanese technology stocks leading the declines following an overnight rout in the Nasdaq. Notable losses among tech names include Tech with 2.63%, SoftBank with 1.24%, Recruit Holdings with 4.64%, Keyence with 3.19%, and M3 Incorporated with 4.42% losses. All other sectors of the market declined except for retailers, which were lifted by an 8% jump in fast retailing after the Uniqlo operator posted a record first quarter profit on Thursday. In South Africa, the FTSE or JSE all-share index fell about 0.8% to around 75,285 on Friday, with tech and mining stocks under pressure. While in Europe, European stock markets traded in the red on Friday, with tech companies leading the losses. And here are the updates on bonds. In US, the yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note edged higher to 1.74% on Friday, but remained below two-year highs of 1.8% early in the week. While in Australia, the yield held above 1.8% in January after touching an over 10-week high of 1.9% on January 10th. While in the United Kingdom, the 10-year government bond held above 1.1% in mid-January. While in Italy, the 10-year BTP was at 1.3% in the second week of January. And in Canada, the yield on the Canadian 10-year government bond traded nearly 1.7%. And this is Emmy from Philippines reporting. Thank you.